What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast. This is a special edition, so special, Sil, that I am double fisting glasses of wine right now because we got
Hey!
celebration
Hey!
going on, baby. So it's been a week since we talked because I was in Minnesota. We can talk about that a little later when we get to our personal life, but I am very happy. I'm not very happy that this Bob Sarver story happened, but
Fuck you,
um,
Sarver.
I have been a strong advocate that Robert Sarver has needed to sell this team even before these allegations first came to like true light. And for him, well, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's back up because we didn't talk last week. So let's back up. A year and $10 million. Now, obviously, this story is essentially dead because he's going to sell. But what kind of bullshit is that the Clippers guy Donald Sterling has to sell the team, but Silver says he couldn't force Sarver to sell the team, so he only gets this 1 year and 10 million. Why the difference there? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy. First off, I'm doing great. We've been doing this podcast
Yeah,
together by ourselves for about 2 years now. And finally didn't ask me. I'm proud of you, man. Uh,
because it's
but dude,
celebration for me tonight, baby.
yeah, you're doing good. Fuck your feelings.
I'm so
But
happy,
dude,
dog.
yeah, that is crazy, and it's a good point to jump to right off the bat. Um, I felt like with the Starling, it it was something that had been so like
Public.
personified, yeah, for
Yeah.
so many years, and it finally came to a tipping point to where a lot of this stuff was hushed. A lot of people in Phoenix, people who came through the organization, kind of knew, kind of had instances, and things that happened, and a lot of these people have made it public nowadays. But it seemed like they had NDAs kind of things in Phoenix. Like
Mm.
nobody talked about it. Anybody that was affected probably got paid off pretty handsomely. Like, yeah, we know the owners are racist. Sorry. Since you're leaving, here's a little bit of money to not talk about it amongst the other NBA organizations. And because it really was hushed for a lot, like this stuff's been happening probably as long as the Sterling thing was going on, and it's now the light. And I can appreciate, like, most people be like, that's not my fucking business. I go to work, I'm on the court. Well, that's not the way the NBA is nowadays.
Mm.
And I absolutely love the fact that the noise was loud on this year suspension in such a negative light that they kind of the hand was forced. And even then, even today, it seems like Adam Silver had like kind of talked him in to putting the team. No, no, there's no fucking option, sir.
Yeah.
Like you're out. Like it that's the way I feel like it should have been. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's because the NBA, there's a lot of new money in there in the last 10 years, right? 15
Yeah,
years. A
with like
lot.
the Warriors and the twin or
Mark
Timberwolves and all
Cuban's
those guys.
still, yeah,
Mark
Mark
Cuban.
Cuban's
Yeah.
still a very new owner in the NBA.
And he
And
seems like an old head at this point.
yeah,
But
so but yeah, there's been a lot of new money in the NBA, so it's a lot different, but it still seems like there's only 28 of us in the whole world. All right, 28, 30, 28 still, right?
30, I think. And it's going to be
30.
32 whenever
Yeah, that's
Vegas and
crazy.
Seattle.
Seattle and Vegas, that's awesome. But yeah, there's only 28, 30 of them in the world. They're tight knit few, and they probably don't like to change it. They like the way the NBA has been going, and a new owner could jeopardize that. And especially in Phoenix, which has been an up and coming place and has been making a lot of money for the NBA. Phoenix fans have been traveling like crazy, and jersey sales have been up. A lot of new faces on the team, so jersey sales are going to keep going up. So it seemed like the NBA was trying to keep that kind of uh, partnership going, known partnership. Like, yeah, he fucked up, but it's not as bad in the public as it was in with the Clippers. Well, the NBA players and fans and execs all came together and said, "Yeah, not quite, sir. This is pretty fucked, and we don't do that anymore in the NBA." So I like the fact that the hand was kind of forced in it, but it at the end of the day, it wasn't. It was
Right.
more of a we could you please sell the teams,
Well,
please.
it was forced by the sponsors. It wasn't forced by the NBA. I know that the way that Sarver worded it was that he had no choice, but that's because he was about to not make any money. PayPal
Yeah.
was pulling out, and there wasn't anybody else
And
going to
I was about to
offer.
pull up my phone.
There wasn't anybody else that was going to offer a sponsorship back to him. The weird thing is that so for Sterling, it was like he's a racist. It's a rap. Like get rid of him. And every time they talked about Sarver pre being public and then even a little bit after being public, it all kind of circulated on he's an asshole. And like an asshole isn't punishable. And it's like, yeah, but he did the same shit. Like it's why did his get spun towards he's an asshole, whereas Sterling's got spun towards he's a racist? Like, is it because Sarver was a nice guy and like hit it better? Like,
yeah,
what?
I think that's absolutely it. It was hit a lot more. I mean, there was everybody and their cat was going around letting everybody know how fucked the Clippers organization was and how forefront he was about it. And yeah, I feel like for the most part, all people really could say was that Sarver was an asshole, because anything else they probably would have fucked.
They would have got
everybody
sued.
that's
Yeah.
ever been in that building doesn't have an NDA, I'd be surprised, because of how everybody would just the general statement: he's an ass. He's hard to deal with.
He's tough to work with. Yeah, that's
he doesn't get along with his peers. He looks at everybody as down people. Well, yeah, at the end of the day, it came out that he's an asshole. He likes little racist gestures, and he likes to do sexual gestures as well. Like every other, I don't want to put them all, because Jerry Jones is a great guy. Old dude.
Well, he did it too, though, but his was apparently consensual. He like had an affair with a cheerleader or whatever back in the day.
Oh shit! Phil Jackson was fucking the boss's
Yeah,
daughter.
that's true. Like I said, the Phil Jackson, like Jerry Jones part was a consensual. Hey, if you can get a fucking 25-year-old when you're 70, have at it, bro.
Hell yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so you just briefly mentioned this, not to cut you off, but it ties in, so I'll let you continue. But on this point, he's also the owner of the Mercury. Like the sexual allegations can't be left aside just because of the racist stuff, which obviously each one individually is enough to make him sell the team. But when you own a WNBA team and you're doing the misogynistic, not sexual, I don't think he did sexual things. He made sexual comments in like a negative way because he was just a fucking asshole. That's even worse. And like, I feel for that whole city because he really had a hand in the whole city, owning both of those teams, and he's still going to be in the city, but it's huge that he's selling. I'm super excited, and I've never been happier to be a Suns fan. And I was texting Eddie, and I told him like if he has to sell, this was before the story came out, I was like, that's going to make 2 years ago worth it. The fact that we lost to Milwaukee, because now he doesn't get a ring. And like, the way I texted it to Eddie, I said, if we can force Sarver to sell before we lose Booker, I will count that as a win that we didn't win the championship. And so obviously it's before we lose Booker, so we're still set up to win. And now he won't get the ring, and that's super exciting. So.
Yeah, I mean, and you also have to be excited. Sarver's also been a guy who doesn't pay. Like, he's not willing to pay a lot of guys. Yeah, they were able to get Chris Paul in here. They were able to pay Book. But outside of that, we saw years of Amari, like, begging, finally going to New York. Nash, begging, finally going to Dallas and L.A. Fucking, what was the other dude?
Marion?
Stefan, Stephen Marion.
Well, yeah, Stephon Marbury got traded for Jason Kidd, though. I think that was different.
Yeah. But like, just always, whenever it comes to these guys getting paid, they stay another year with a little like leniency, hoping and praying that they want to stay in Phoenix. They love the fans, they love the city, but at the end of the day, they just aren't getting that paycheck. So hopefully, new owners come in, realize what they have. Phoenix is prime. It's not Cleveland, that's for damn sure. Like, it's a good city. People want to be there. It's a great area outside of Glendale. It's the only fucking thing in Arizona to do. So yeah, that's definitely a good place. And also, the West is a lot weaker than the East right now. So if players want to go and try to get a chip, it's not LA anymore. It's going to be Phoenix for for foreseeable future. Chris Paul feels like he's going to pull a Tom Brady, play till he's 45 because of the style of play he does. And he plays the same fucking way he did back in the day because he's always played slow. He's always played with his IQ. He never cared about his athleticism that much. And it doesn't matter how tall these guards are that are going to play against him because he has that weird fucking stupid
mid-range fader thing.
Yeah, it's weird as fuck. And I actually tried to implement it a little bit, and I almost fell on my asshole on the court.
Legit, I shot it last night and I airballed it.
I fall on the back of my heels, and I don't understand how he's able to bend and still it's weird as fuck.
I
But he's
didn't
always
fall, but I
played
did
the same
airball the
style.
shot.
Yeah,
So
he's always able to play the same style, and he's going to be able to play for a long time. So if you guys can start picking those people, which you're very well able to, they just never spent the money. So
right.
if a new owner comes in, you guys got to be very excited for the fact that all that could change. History could very well flip. I mean, you guys got to the finals with him not wanting to pay people.
Yeah.
Didn't I mean you were fine with the Jalen, but now you're not even fucking giving people their fucking rookie extension. Like y'all
Yeah.
aren't spending money at all. So that's got to be very exciting. Just on top of the fact you're getting that asshole of a human out of the door.
Well, it's awesome because you talked about the new money, and when we look at all these new owners, it's exciting, man. Like Mark Cuban was the first, and he's exciting. Joe Lacob with the Warriors, he loves to spin, he loves doing shit. Steve Ballmer, the guy that replaced Sterling, is the most excitable guy in the whole league. So if we can get one of those dudes that truly just love basketball, love the city of Phoenix, want to see what's up, even our minority owner, if he buys the rest of the team, I'm excited about him. He owns, I think, like 27%. So he was like right there. So he might just absorb that shit. But I don't know how that all works. But I'm excited about all that. And it's really cool to see that we're going to be moving forward with a new era. I'm old enough to not have lived through all the um the years of Robert Sarver, but the guy before him was just okay. I mean, he went through the Barkley and all that, but 17 years of just my core, because 17 years ago was really when I started to sink in and understand, and it was all Sarver. So it's pretty rough, and I'm excited to start a new chapter. I want one of those young guys. I want one of those dudes that are just excited, that's literally sitting courtside having the time of their life, because I don't think Sarver was ever courtside, maybe in the finals, but he's not that type of guy. He's up in the box, just smoozing with people. So I want a guy that's down, watching the game, enjoying it, wanting to have a good time, and wanting the fans to have a good time. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah, I grew up with Wayne Weaver in Jacksonville,
Mm.
and didn't really know who the Cavs owner was. And then Dan Gilbert, whenever he got the team, and LeBron left, and this motherfucker came out saying we're going to win a ring before he does in Miami. I was like, I will run through a fucking fortress for this guy. Like, I absolutely love our owner for what he's been able to do for us in the last 10 years. Get LeBron to come back, get a ring, and then in the 4 years since he's left, what him and Kobe have been able to do. I'm really excited, bro, and it's only because we got some new money in there, and I'm excited for what your team is going to be able to do because of what y'all have already been able to do with having a threshold, with having a ceiling, with having a
Mm-hmm.
cap put on just your roster. Trying to shop Jay Crowder, that could possibly change now that he's selling the team. He
I'm
might be able to
fine. I'm
stay.
fine with getting rid of.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
But
then I wouldn't have anybody to make fun of on that team for a while.
that's true. Well, the thing is, Cam Johnson, to talk real basketball, Cam Johnson can replace Crowder. We know that. So if we can go get some good assets, some good bench people, maybe a pick, like a second round pick somewhere, dude, I would take that in a heartbeat. Give us a seventh, eighth man and a pick. You can have him. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah, we got
So
some definitely good times to come. Sorry, last week Donovan Mitchell touchdown in Cleveland, and had his whole press conference tour going on. Got our photo shoots and our jerseys, so it's awesome. We don't have all these people coming out with their new statement jerseys and shit. Nope, I mean, we put a basket where our V
right,
is. We made it a
yeah,
basketball like the old. I don't think I have it in
the
here.
retro
But
jerseys.
yeah, but the ball going through the net logo,
Mm,
that's the V now. So
nice.
that's cool. But it's the all white, so I might end up with my first fucking all white jersey I've ever owned. My Red Sox championship, my Eifert gamer. But yeah, basketball wise, I don't really like all whites. I have my white trims and stuff, but the all
Nice.
white basketball jerseys, they've just never looked tough. Florida did it back in the day when we
Right.
unveiled our blacks. We had our all blacks and then our all whites. I don't like it. Gotta have some trim in there. Gotta have something
Yeah.
going on. besides just the basic numbers and lettering. But yeah, probably gonna be the first one ever. But we'll see.
All right.
It's bad luck to me, right? Like, white
Yeah.
socks. I mean,
Well, the
Aaron
Heat
Rodgers
have
loves
that
white
whiteout
socks, but
jersey. The Heat have that whiteout jersey, and
yeah,
it's not the
that's nice.
best.
But it has the
I
black
mean,
trim. It has some
that's
black
true.
trim on
That's
it.
true. So,
Nice.
yeah. So we'll talk about basketball obviously when it gets closer, but that's a story that we're excited about over here at No Scrubs Allowed, and we'll monitor that and hopefully get to talk to a new owner soon, or talk about a new owner. I guess we probably won't be talking to
That'd
him,
be dope. I know.
but
I'm trying to figure out like how I can talk to Garrett because he's in a little bit of downtime right now.
right.
And but last time I was just like, "Hey, what's up, bro? Want to get on my little local podcast?" Didn't even. I don't even think I was left on red. So
Well, I will
I don't
tell
know how to.
you something that I'll talk to you off the air about it more in detail. But everybody knows that we're part of an adult league. We've both been talking about this for a long time. So I was like, let me just search and check prices for a shooting coach to see what a private shooting coach costs. Just because I was bored at work, I was fucking searching it. So as I was searching, just up the road from me is the guy that was a graduate assistant on the UCF teams with Rompsa and Jordan and those guys. He is now a shooting coach in Southern California.
No
So
shit.
first of all, I was like, damn, maybe I will get shooting lessons from him. Like, that's pretty
Oh,
cool.
bro.
But two, I was like, I should at least reach out to him and say, yo, you want to talk about your time at UCF on the podcast? Because that would be dope. But yeah, it is a really small world. It's really cool. But anyways, so that's just something that I thought about. But I'll talk to you about that afterwards if you want to try to interview him.
Yeah, that's cool as hell.
But moving on, let's get to football. Football is the main point. We'll talk a little bit about some other sports. There's just so much shit going on. This might be a long podcast, so we'll save the like my Minnesota trip and my adult league and all that shit till the end. So if you want to stick around, have at it, or fast forward like an hour. But
Thanks, Joe.
let's get to football. And your team won. I mean, my team won too, but your team winning is a little bit more rare. So let's start with the Jaguars.
Whoa.
They
It's not
looked
even
fucking they looked fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's not even that we just won. The way we won, dude. And like 24 nothing, I think it was. 27-24. Doesn't fucking matter. We skunked their ass. But the way we did it, Jonathan Taylor wasn't able to get going. The week before, the Redskins running backs, they weren't able to get going, but they were able to gash us for 20-yard runs, 30-yard runs here and there. And that just wasn't happening. With a line that's supposed to be really great in the Colts and a beast in Jonathan Taylor, it just never got going whatsoever. And that was great to see. But man, our fucking offense looked like a locomotive that was running on air. Like you just can't stop it. The government can't stop it. It's just going to keep going. It doesn't matter. I guess COVID's the only thing that could stop it because it's in the air. But
Right.
but man, it was awesome to see. The biggest thing anybody could say about Trevor Lawrence in the last year of him playing is the kid's playing Madden. Like he doesn't let go of the ball. He holds on to it too long. He doesn't try to extend plays. It's just he has the ball for 2.5, 3 seconds, or he gets sacked. There's
Right.
no median in it. He doesn't throw the ball away. He doesn't scramble around to extend it. It's just either a thrown ball or a sack every fucking time. And I guess Doug Peterson saw week one, whatever they had planned wasn't working. He wasn't doing what he thought he was going to do and letting the ball out early. So they went, like we all know, first 15, 20 plays of an NFL game on either offense is mapped out already.
Right.
They've been going over it for 3 days. And you could tell that in those 15 plays, every single pass play, first read, first read, first read. And it really set up a groove. And I really think it opened up Trevor's eyes to, holy shit, this is fucking easy. I'm not getting touched. So he's going quick, going second read, bam, quick. Let me get out of the pocket, third read, bam. Just bang, 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 and finally moving around and getting it done. And I think we've had 3 first downs the whole game last week. And our first opening touchdown drive, we had, I think, 5 first downs. So that was just, and it kept going the whole game. So if we can continue that, and people would say, oh, you always play the Colts good. You've always played they were hurt. It's the same fucking team we played last year. The same
Yeah.
team that we beat, and we had to scrap and claw to beat them. The way that
And
we
all
were
they
able
had to
to,
do was beat you last year. Like last year
yeah,
was no excuse,
yeah.
but
So like, and some people get over prepared for games and all that stuff, and they definitely circled this game. They were ready for this game. This was a revenge game for them, and yeah, maybe they did over prepare and all that stuff, get too hyped for the game. But just the way we won, like every single play, the interceptions, the offensive play, like it looked like kind of similar to that 2017
mm,
year when we went on a hell of AFC championship run, but nobody had us going anywhere. Nobody had Blake thinking Blake was going to be able to lead a team to
right.
anything. And all of a sudden, one win and turned into two. Holy shit, we're beating the Cardinals. Holy shit, we're beating the Cowboys. Whoa, we just went on a 7-run fucking tear. We're 8-1 right now. We didn't lose again until we were like 10-2. And then we went 10-3 and then 11-3. And holy fuck, we're in division round of the playoffs. Holy shit, we're going to the Super Bowl. Nope, Miles Jack was down. But like it seems really similar to that, and I'm just hoping it's not just because of the Colts. And that's why I'm very happy we're playing a Justin Herbert list. He's day to day right now.
He'll be
but
there.
if he plays after that scramble on 3rd down, 3rd and 1, and he just threw the ball away.
He had to, yeah, he couldn't get it.
Knowing
But that
he
throw
would
he
have got
made
it.
on 4th, though, that maybe
Yeah,
that's why he didn't make
Yeah,
the
but
play.
even that throwaway, little thing he did. Hey, a week, and I can tell you, I mean, I don't know. I deal with pain pretty damn good, so it could have just been one rib, but it definitely felt every time I sneezed, it felt like 2 or 3 of them bitches. But just with a fractured rib, if with it being that and something on top of it, I think it's like a little bit worse than just a fractured rib. But dude, to come back the next week, knowing even if you get the ball out, just a little tiny.
They'll put him in
You're,
that big ass flak jacket, though.
I mean, still, bro, breathing in that, like nowadays in new
That's true.
medicine, you're not allowed to get constricted fucking like they used to.
Yeah.
Broken rib, fractured rib. Here, put this
Wrap that
constriction
dude up.
thing on.
Yeah.
No, 2 weeks later you have bronchitis, pneumonia, and your fucking lungs are full. Like you can't do that shit nowadays. But hey, if he comes out there too, more power to him. That's going to be a couple more interceptions than Chase Daniel's going to throw. Probably a couple more sacks because he can't fucking run right now. But I'm excited to what our offense is able to do against that defense. Because Derwin James, even though that team got beat,
See him pick up that, bro, and just
Travis Kelce. Yeah. John Cena. Yeah, Travis Kelce talked about on him and his brother's podcast. Another great fucking podcast. Haven't watched. Never going to be on a level of Pat McAfee in my heart. So I just watch the clips. I don't fucking watch the whole thing. But the clips that come out are great. And he talked about it. He said, he's like, bro, when I felt his arms around my legs, I knew what comes up must come down.
Damn.
And he said he picked me up and he's like, I was like, oh shit. Surprised the hell out of me. But that guy is a fucking monster. Khalil Mack, I'm hoping he's not too pissed off at what he hasn't done in those first 2 games because that could get brutal against our young offensive line. Rookie center.
Right.
Walker Little had to play a little bit last game, getting rotated in and out for people trying to fix their tape and shit on their ankles. Offensive lines are brutal, bro. Like, them are some fucking monsters. The more you think about it, how smart they have to be, how they get fucked, but it's not like they can have a backup. It's not like defensive lines who can shuffle out. Like, you might be able to find 5 good offensive linemen in the whole NFL. Like, to get a couple of them on the same team, it's hard to do, man. So, yeah, them guys, a shout out to the offensive linemen in the NFL, all of you. You're all good. Even though Madden only rates you 74, you are some fucking dogs, bro.
For real.
But, dude, Khalil, if he's hungry, that motherfucker's going to be able to eat because the last couple of weeks he's been lining up over right behind Bosa, and that's our weak side, bro. So I'm kind of scared on that aspect. But hey, if Trevor's getting it out in a second and a half, you got to be 8 foot tall and run a fucking 3.5 40 to be able to get to a quarterback in that time.
They might be that though. Those two are nasty. But no, Justin Herbert will be there. He'll at least try to start the game. And a surprise for my boy Seal here, he doesn't know, but Justin Herbert won't be the only one at fucking SoFi Stadium, baby. watching the
Let's go,
game.
dog. Let's
So
go.
I'll be there to
You
watch
gonna
my
root for
boys'
the
team.
Jags? Let's go.
Well, I mean, I don't give a shit. I will root for the AFC team to win, which is both, if you guys don't know football. Every time there's an interleague matchup, Courtney asks me who I want to win. I'm like, the AFC team. Anybody that's going to help out the Bucks. I don't care.
Come on, bro. I root for you, dog. You gotta root for me.
No,
bro.
I know,
root
I
for
know.
you.
I know. But I will be sitting.
Hey-o.
I'll be sitting really close, and it'll be really exciting.
Oh, really? Were they cheap?
They were free. Parking was not free,
Hey!
but these were free. I'm sitting right above the Chargers tunnel, actually, in 118.
Nice.
So I think I have to wear Chargers, or else they like don't want me to come in, kind of thing. But they're giving me a shirt to wear, so I'll get the shirt and then I'll cheer against them. So fuck them.
That's cool, bro. That's awesome.
No, it's really cool. I'm excited to go. I got that through a work friend that doesn't like football, so that's exciting.
That is really neat.
Yeah, so that'll be really fun. But
That's a
it's
Purdy
just
Stadium. Have you been there for a football game yet?
I've never been to SoFi for a tour. I've never been to SoFi for preseason. I've never been to SoFi for anything. So
I figured
I'm
you'd be
excited.
there for something. That's crazy. Yeah, that's
The
a
last
beautiful
game
stadium.
I've gone to was at the Coliseum when the Rams are still playing at the Coliseum. So I've not been since they moved to SoFi. So
Okay.
it's exciting. But
Yeah,
what I was
I
gonna
hear it's
say
nice.
is I was only watching on Red Zone, but every time that Red Zone clicked over to the Jags, the name I kept seeing was Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk.
Bro.
This man, it looks like he's going to be a step up for you guys, and Lawrence already has some sort of chemistry with him, and that's really nice if he can turn into that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And we noticed it from the Eagles' run. Alshon Jeffrey, when it came down to it, being the first read, became the most significant. And that's
Yeah.
not something that you know in the NFL unless they run a fucking 4-3-40. You're just not going to be that option. You're the deep threat. You're the red zone. Like, that's the number one guy. And this guy is running around. He's lining up everywhere. He seems to be that number one that the quarterback's going to try to find. And that's the way the offensive game plan is. And that's awesome. We have Marvin Jones, who's still probably a top 20 receiver in the league in his old age. He's just one of the better route runners in the league. Not the most dynamic, but Marvin Jones in his prime was the best route runner in the league, was one of the more talked about players, and he was in Detroit in his prime. So, like, he's a great player. I'm excited that we still were able to keep him around. But yeah, outside of Christian Kirk and him, we don't have too much. Evan Ingram, yeah, Zay Jones, but that's pretty much it. Like, we don't have that a fourth guy really too much. So yeah, we're gonna have to rely on him a lot, and he's hungry. Like, he's really hungry to prove himself. Everybody and their mom said that for him to change the wide receiver market the way he did as a second receiver wasn't a good surprise for him.
Right.
So he's ready to eat on that. And man, it's been really exciting to see. Even when Trevor could have ran it in for a touchdown, just to flip it into him, knowing that, hey, listen, this little extra confidence is going to help this guy wonders. And even on the sideline in our mic'd up thing that every team fucking does, he was like, hey, thank you for that, bro. Thank you for that. Trevor was like, shit, I was probably going to get hit. So, yeah, but knowing, like, hey, just giving him this little touchdown real quick, I probably could have ran the 4 or 5 feet to do it. But let's get this chemistry. Let's get this guy some confidence. We got 15 more games. And everybody knows, like, the Jacksonville run game is going to be there. It's always going to be there. It's just, are we going to be able to get a first down? And to get a first down in this league, you got to make completions. You got to be able to get quick strikes. And I think we proved that against a really good secondary. Yeah, it's not Darius anymore. Shaq Leonard, right? That's his new name.
Yeah.
Shaq Leonard and Buckner, right? Is that his no? What's the fuck?
I don't watch the
I think that
AFC,
might
bro.
be his name. But another really good linebacker. He didn't play either. But that wouldn't have mattered. The run game was, that might have helped out the run game a little bit. But Trevor Lawrence and them receivers looked fucking crisp. And that secondary, no Pro Bowlers last year in that whole defense. But that secondary is going to have a couple Pro Bowlers this year, quarterbacks and safeties. And we made them motherfuckers look like Pop Warner team. So, yeah. Took me 10 minutes to say it, but yeah, we did really good. I'm really fucking excited. and we have a great test coming up this week to see if it's a fluke because we play the Colts at home, or is this team actually ready to play NFL football?
Yeah, and the thing is, even if Herbert's not 100% or he's not even there, the Chargers are good. The Chargers defense is good. Eckler is good. Mike Williams is good. So like they'll be able to provide you guys some challenge regardless. But I'm fairly certain that Herbert will at least try to play. We'll see the first time Miles Jack gets to him or something, but he will try to play, or Josh Allen or somebody's gonna fuck him up. But
Miles Jack is a bitch ass Steeler nowadays.
that's why I changed it to Allen. Allen's gonna get to
but
him.
actually, I was playing Madden last night and beat that scrub playing with the Ravens doing that cheap shit with Lamar. I like lining up with the weak side linebacker and acting like I'm blitzing and dropping the coverage. And I saw 44. I was like, updated rosters. And with the Jack, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. We did have him last year. So I love this team's already made me forget about him. I'm excited.
That's true.
We got a new 44 in town. Aiden Hutchinson had a pretty good week.
So did Walker though. Like Walker's good. Walker's really good.
Yeah,
so
he's gonna be that guy that in 2-3 years he's gonna like start just wrecking. Like he's already a game wrecker, but like everybody knows he doesn't have that little bag that a lot of like Hutchinson has a fucking bag. His little reptile T-Rex arms. Kid has a bag, and once Trayvon gets that, and he hasn't even. I like the way we use him. We use him like Georgia did. He's not a pure defensive end, so I like the way we've been using him and able to drop back in zone. Has some speed on him, but once he gets that bag, and next 2 or 3 years, that motherfucker is going to be worth a lot of money, and he's going to be one of the better defensive players in the league. And his trajectory is fucking.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those draft classes where both people are going to be amazing. And it's going to be that like Chase Young, who went before him, Watt, or no, an offensive player, I guess, went before him. But just one of those things where both players play well and it turns out good. My team, we don't really have to talk about them too much. The Bucs are looking good. They set us up for failure against the Packers. I'm not too worried though. Mike Evans isn't around, but I'm proud of Mike Evans. He's a little diva. He's a punk ass. But he stood up for Tom Brady, and I love to see that. Listen, he always gets into it, Lattimore. That's just a normal thing. They hate each other. They truly hate each other.
The fact that he blindsided the fuck out of like last year, like the fight before that, he should have been suspended for like 4 games, and I think they both got suspended for a game and fined out the wazoo. But last year he did the same kind of hit, just Hadouken! But last year he came up from the side, like backside, and blindsided the shit out of him, and which could have caused a lot of head and neck injury. This time, Lattimore saw it coming, got lifted, and got embarrassed, and he should have dealt with it. I feel like if Mike Evans got suspended, he probably should have been suspended too, just for the simple fact that once they did, because obviously the NFL ran the tape back, and they saw him yelling at Bruce Arians, who won. How the fuck is he there?
No, they didn't give us a booth. So Jason Light and Bruce Arians had to stand on the sideline. They didn't give us a booth to go sit in.
Like for the coordinators?
Yeah, he's like a special advisor or whatever Arians is. But the GM, Jason Light, however you say his last name, still had to go down to the sideline. They didn't give us the Saints. Fuck the Saints. But yeah, they didn't give us a box, so everybody had to be on the sideline.
Oh, really?
And the Saints were like, we gave them a spot in the press box. Why the fuck are they gonna sit in the press box? They're not press. Put them in their own fucking box.
Yeah, that's stupid as fuck. Yeah, that's dumb as shit. But yeah, like why the fuck is he down there? And but he's jawing at him, turns around, jaws at Tom Brady, punches Leonard Fournette. Like he punched Leonard Fournette he punched him in the chin. He hit him with a Stockton slap. It's a UFC punch. Like it's in the game. Punch number 2, Stockton slap, and it does that little bitch.
Yeah.
So yeah, for him to get like he tackled a dude after the play, and got suspended for a game, defending his quarterback. Jameis Winston has been there, and he's done it. So it doesn't matter who his quarterback is. That's just kind of, I think that was his trying to, let me try to save face here a little bit. Like, yo, that's the fucking GOAT, bro. What do you expect me to do? But
no,
Evans is
a
awesome.
drama queen, but he will step up and look badass when you need him to. And I don't know if he does it just so that he can try to look badass or what, but I'm all for it. So we still have Russell Gage. Julio's gonna come back. We still
hey, shout out to Julio week 1. We weren't able to talk about that either.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
Turning back the clock, baby.
Bro, what is in Tom Brady's water that he gives these old fucks that come to town? I mean,
the TB12 diet. Google it.
Shout out AQ Shipley, but honestly, AQ, we all know he's his own man, and he's a man's man, and he ain't gonna do nobody shit unless he wants to do that TB12 bullshit. And he probably didn't do it and had to retire because of it.
Exactly.
But every other motherfucker that comes there just turns back. It's crazy.
Well, we will see if who's the guy we just grabbed? It's gonna be activated. He's probably activated by now. Fuck, what's his name? Old man.
I don't know.
Slot receiver. Shit. Whatever.
Hey,
we just
y'all got Wes Welker?
No. Same
Miller.
Cole Beasley. So we got Cole Beasley.
Y'all got Cole?
So he's about to turn back the clock, baby. It's gonna be Cole Beasley time.
Well, I mean, Julio Jones had a whole offseason in the TB12, so
that's true.
So
Cole Beasley is just now getting introduced to the TB12.
Just wait till the playoffs. By playoffs, that motherfucker's going to be cooking. That hair's going to be flying in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Up in Buffalo.
We'll be fine. I'm not scared of the Packers. I'm really not. Obviously, they're pretty good, but that's who we play this weekend.
Buffalo?
Probably not.
Who do y'all play this weekend?
We play the Packers this weekend. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that'd be great to play Buffalo though, so he could have a little revenge again.
No, we play the NFC West and the AFC. I don't know which AFC squad we play, so maybe. But anyways,
sure.
No, it'll be really exciting. Our defense is too good to give Rodgers a chance against with these receivers. He's still trying to learn these receivers. Our defense is solid. Dude, our defense is way too good. We're not the Bears, bro. We're not the Bears. So we'll be fine.
Yeah, he fucking owns the Bears.
Yeah, he's going to beat the Bears. He couldn't beat the Vikings, and you saw what the Vikings did last week. So it's not really a big deal to me. But let's move on to college because the pros, I wanted to talk about. What's up?
While we're on the NFL.
Yeah.
The Jaguars are the best in the AFC South right now. All right, besides that, that's fucking amazing. I'll never be able to say that again probably for the next 5-6 years.
How about nobody's winless in the what is it? Or
the AFC,
everybody's
NFC
winless.
North?
Yeah.
No, the NFC North? Something like that. No.
Yeah, they're like
something.
I don't remember exactly, but
every team in the ACC won a game last week or something.
It was last week that everybody in the AFC North was winless because two teams played each other. No, that was ACC. You guys. I don't know. Fuck it. But
we were. Yeah, we were all winless.
Yeah, because even though two teams played each other, they tied.
Yeah, it was us. But yeah, a lot of great stuff. And then also, did you see that video of people it was the Las Vegas Police Department are looking into an incident where Kyler Murray may have been struck by a fan.
Dude, I watched the video and I was like, I'm over this story. That was fucking nothing.
So when it starts, dude's happy as shit with his phone, trying to pat him, and you could see that
and he
goes
barely
in,
trying to grab his shoulder pad to pat. Yeah,
and just kind of just swooped, and then Kyler Murray looked back, probably like, "Hey, bro, I ain't with that shit. Don't be rubbing on a grown-ass man."
Well, no. So Kyler Murray walked back pissed. But I think as soon as he figured out what happened, because Murray turned as if he got slapped in the face. And then he looked at everybody and he was like, oh, all right, whatever. And then he started partying with him.
I think he turned because to me it wasn't a slap.
He was trying to do this. He missed a little bit. Yeah.
but he like rubbed his face. So I felt like he turned like who the fuck? Why are you rubbing my face? Like that's the look I got. And then everybody wants to turn it into shit. And I feel like he probably figured it out because it wasn't the Cardinals that were looking into it. It was
Yeah, they didn't care.
Yeah, it didn't say anything about them. It just said that the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the police department were looking into an incident. Like he's probably gonna be like, "Bro, the fucking kid rubbed my face like a weirdo." Like, no,
Well, he spoke. He said no hard feelings. He's like, I'd like to shake his hand. There wasn't anything there. So like Kyler already said like it's straight.
Yeah, that's just it's so weird in the day and age we are. Like you know how I am. I'm a rowdy guy, and if a fucking football player, I would try to give him a hug, and I might accidentally elbow him. So does that mean I'm gonna go to jail and be banned from the?
That's that Russell Westbrook bullshit, though. That's what's stemming into this. Is like how Russell Westbrook doesn't want to be even. You can't say hi to Russell Westbrook and you're getting thrown out of a fucking game. So you can't be like, Russ, I love your game. He'd be like, who the fuck said that? Get out of here. So like,
I don't care, Russell West, bitch.
Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Out here.
I understand both sides. I really do.
That's what
but
fans.
The fans have a right. The fans have a right to say anything they want that's within fair game things. And like Westbrick, which was the nickname that they were calling him, is not anything. Like, go fuck yourself if you get offended by Westbrick. But this is not a Westbrick podcast. But I think that's what really stemmed this whole you cannot touch anyone is the Russell Westbrook getting just offended by everybody. Kyrie flipping off fans, and they're really just trying to break that line and say don't fuck with people. But he was celebrating. He went and he was celebrating with his people, and I don't think it's a big deal at all.
Yeah, but even then, Kyrie, when are you gonna get a chip without LeBron? Like,
yeah, to say that is like I agree, it's nothing.
Like KD,
and I agree that I think he should be able to flip them off. Who the fuck cares?
What did the dude say to KD? Like, KD, you better start making your shots. Or he's like, you better shut up and watch the fucking game. Or some shit. Like, bro, the shit we grew up saying to the TVs, and when we finally got chances to go to the Amway Center in the fucking nosebleeds, watching the Suns play the Magic. Yeah, we was saying our shit. I mean, we weren't like that, but even if we were, it's probably till this day. Like, if you don't think that if I'm on the court, like court seats, and Russell Westbrook shoots a 3 in the eye of fucking Donovan Mitchell and comes down doing some celebration, running by me, looking at the fans, and I'm gonna be like, "Fuck you, bitch! You gonna miss the next 3."
Yeah, dude.
You saw in our league, number 2, you suck. Or he said, and David said, "Bro, you want him?" Burns was like, "No, let that motherfucker stay." Like, that's energy. That's energy for me to fuel on. Like, that's how they used to look at it. That was like, all right, I'm about to shut you up. We always hear about these instances back in the day with old school celebrities and player interaction.
Oh yeah.
And talking shit. Yeah, they used to fucking Spike Lee. He used to almost get into fights with these motherfuckers, and they never said, "Hey, is there any way we can get Spike to either move up or not be allowed to the games?" No, they were like, "Can this motherfucker get closer? Can y'all give him a fucking megaphone?" Like, that shit fuels me.
Michael Jordan looked and talked shit to like Jack Nicklaus or whoever it was, Jack Nicholson, and then shot a free throw. Like, that's just the way it is. Kobe did the same shit. Me and you both played sports in like young kids in high school. The shit our coaches said in the locker room was way worse than any of these fucking things that the fans are saying. So I don't know what these players are hearing, but that is the reason that they're really trying to draw a strong line. And if I see a story come out that this fan got anything, then I'm gonna lose a lot of faith because there's no reason that it should have been a headline. Should the police have investigated it? Sure, if that's their job, I don't give a fuck. But it shouldn't have been the headline. It shouldn't have been this clickbaity bullshit that they're like, oh, somebody touched Kyler Murray.
And that where does this fan get all thinking he can just touch another person? You get in their personal space, bro. If a football player who has been in the NFL and went to the University of Oklahoma that has the craziest fucking fans in the world, and he is known for scoring touchdowns and running to the fucking student section. That's what the
Right.
kid did. He celebrated with the students. So he knows once he goes and touches that little wall that separates him from the fans and goes up on it, he's going to get touched. He's
Yeah.
going to get bombarded. His personal space is no longer. For people to come and say that stupid shit and have that little weak, but where do people get off thinking they can? Right when he starts bringing them into the celebration.
And he had already
Like,
gone down to the other end of the end zone, was partying with people, ran all the way back towards where the camera is, and then was running back again, high-fiving. Like, he was high-fiving everybody. And it's a non-point that we've spent like 20 minutes on that probably shouldn't have had anything. It's just so crazy that those headlines even exist, and it's frustrating. And Kyler does not care. He doesn't want it to be a thing. Listen, if you want to celebrate with your fans, you should get to. And I hope that somebody on the Chargers scores a fucking back corner and touchdown and celebrates with me. And because when I'm celebrating with them, I'm gonna be like, "Go Bucks," and they're gonna kick me out or some bullshit. That's what's so crazy. I'm gonna high five his ass though, and then I'm gonna try to touch his butt. I don't think I'm gonna be low enough to touch his butt, but I'm gonna try.
people are still recognizing the queen. So here's to the queen.
I know. I saw that too. Yeah, here's the thing.
Wish
We didn't really
Diane was
talk
still
about
here.
that, but we didn't talk about that because it's not like a political or world geological whatever podcast. But that's gonna be
Yeah,
crazy, dog.
I know some Brits, and they're like, "Oh, it's a sad day."
Yeah,
Like, but like,
it's
because as
nuts.
Americans, we think like, didn't she kill her granddaughter? Like,
She killed a
that's what
lot of
we think.
people. She killed a lot of people.
That's what we think.
Her
of,
dad
but
killed everybody just to get the fucking thing in the
everybody,
the thing.
bro.
So, I mean, yeah, that's just the way it works. But Charles won't be around that long. No offense to my English people. I know he's not going to be around that long. And I think, what's the guy's name? William. He's going to be
William, yeah.
fine. Kate's fun. She's hot,
Hey,
so we'll be
shout
good.
out to Kate's hot as fuck. Shout out to Harry being like the seventh heir now that fucking Will and Kate have like 5 kids.
Yeah, right.
4 or 5
So,
kids. That's
so he's
gotta
living
suck,
his best life, bro. Well, as long as
yeah.
he stays on that money, but he gave it up, right?
He
But
said it hurt him. Whatever the ER means was taken off of him because the whole thing changed now, and it all goes through William. But
right.
yeah, whatever that is, it was like it was kind of a hurtful moment for him. But this
Yeah.
motherfucker decided when he was 18, 19 years old, he's gonna go party and join fucking William joined the military and did good.
Did
This
we
motherfucker joined the military and went off to all these countries and was wilding the fuck out.
Hey, good for him, bro. When you're that
Dude,
second
hey.
kid, though, when you know the first kid gets everything, shit.
And honestly, I'm not trying to be racist here or anything, but them motherfuckers are a little bit of British people. They're a proud people.
You
And
know
like
you're not
said,
able to be racist to white people, right? So you're good.
oh well, fuck. 'Em. But no, but literally, this motherfucker's great granddad, like we already talked about, and his granddad killed a lot of fuckers to get there, and
Yeah.
they don't give a shit about nobody. And if you think they're gonna let anybody that's not white of a nice bloodline into their
They were
into
pissed
their
as
fucking
fuck
air, bro.
when Diana
So yeah,
got married to
I guarantee you they told
Charles.
William, they were like, listen, y'all better have 10, 15 fucking kids. Like, this bloodline now runs through you.
Yeah. Yeah, because when Diana got married to Charles, that was a wrap. They were not going to have it. And so when Harry got married to a Canadian lady, they were like, that's not going to happen either. But to be
we'll
fair,
take Hollywood.
on the flip side of that, Queen Elizabeth did a lot of great things. She was around. Well, she was at least around for a lot of great things. A lot of progress in culture and community and things like that. So it is a sad day in Europe, in England. I know a lot of English people, and that does suck. Yeah. But this is going to be the first and last female, like true queen, bloodline queen that we're going to know for a long time.
In our lifetime, for sure.
Well, we're never going to know, but even like our kids and our grandkids and things like that, because you have William, then George, and then of course it depends on who George has. But if George has all girls, then I guess it would be a queen. But that's going to be a long time after we're dead.
Yeah, that
so
is
it's
true.
just so crazy.
That is crazy. That's all we've known is a queen.
Is a queen.
All our parents have known, right? 57 is when she got in. That's
My
crazy.
dad was
My dad was
born like
born in
right after
60.
my dad was born like right after she got put in, but we're not British, so it doesn't matter anyway. But
That's crazy.
yeah. So I saw a headline that said that it was like the only monarch that most people will ever know. Everybody else is a king.
It is funny. I
Um,
haven't seen any kind of introductory to like anything going on, and then I saw a little thing of him walking in to the hall or whatever to be
yeah,
sworn or whatever the fuck was going on, and they put the like the Darth Vader dun, 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 dun,
that's
walking in,
funny.
and I was like, this is amazing. I'm
It's
glad this is
funny.
all I've seen about it.
I truly don't care. I don't know what the royal family does. But I know that all of my British friends do care. So I mean, I care for them because I love them. But I honestly don't know or give a shit about how any of that shit works. So we're gonna move on now to college football, and we're gonna talk about. Luckily, I mean, me missing last week because I was in Minnesota was a blessing in disguise because we don't have to talk about football from a week or two ago. So that's exciting. We get to just move straight on to this week. And there are a couple of ranked matchups that will be happening. And then, of course, we'll do our upset picks as well. So I believe I'm scrolling through right now. Yeah, there are 3 ranked matchups. And we'll talk about them. And of course, we don't even have to specially talk about Florida because they are one of the ranked matchups. It's Florida heading to Rocky Top, and if I hear that fucking song on Saturday, I'm gonna flip. But to
I
face
don't
Josh
mind it.
Heupel, to face the Tennessee Volunteers, and we're gonna be trying to bounce back from a stupid ass loss, or not a well, we bounced back sort of, but not
I was
really,
about to say
against USF. So we're
we
going to be
barely
bouncing
won.
back from essentially 2 losses that we went 1-1 during. How do you feel like that's going to happen heading into Knoxville and facing these just orange losers?
Well, I really hope we weren't amped up after that loss. Napier was smiling a little too much for my liking after that thing.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's scary to think about what we did against Kentucky after beating Utah. And Utah looked like they were probably the better defensive team for one
Yeah.
that we went up against, and we just looked like shit. And also, outside of fucking Kentucky's quarterback and like one player, they don't have much. The same thing as Utah. Like we really had the same kind of game plan, and I felt like we got ahead of our fucking selves. Just beat the set number 17, and then we get smacked. So now we're going up against what, the number 11? They're 11 now,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, the 11th ranked team. Hopefully, we're more hungry. We're not looking at,
Well,
oh,
real
we just
quick, let
lost.
me pause you for a second. Last week had to be a trap week, right? Like we were looking forward to Tennessee. We were not expecting Southwest Florida fuckheads to do anything,
Do you
right?
think after losing to
I
Kentucky
hope
though,
so.
like, but
I
that
thought we would
doesn't that
blow
that,
them
that
out. I thought we would blow them out by like 60
yeah,
points.
come out fucking
But it
hungry.
had to have been a trap
The,
game, right? It
the,
had to
no,
have been we're
it,
looking
it
forward to
better
Tennessee.
no, it better not be that for a first year coach and Billy Napier who prides himself on being aggressive, being
Hey, we
intense.
won though. We won.
Travis,
We won.
real fans don't count that as a win. That's a
I
fucking
agree.
escape. That's an
It was
escape.
definitely an escape.
Yeah, it goes into the win column, but no, we won though. We escaped. We didn't win shit.
I will tell you that
So
the Cows were much happier in their post-game locker room than we were, even though they
that's
lost.
what I hope because Napier and that little fucking little after presser walking off the field had too much of a fucking smile on his face. After they asked, how you feel about the win? What? We didn't fucking win. Oh yeah, we got it together. We grouped back. We came back. Da, da, da. Yeah, thank you.
He
Thank
has
you.
a
Yeah, yeah.
smug smile too. Like he's a little
Like
little
get the
bitch.
fuck out of here. I love Napier, but you
I do
better
too, but he
start.
has that smug ass smile.
Like you better fucking start turning this shit around because these boys need to be aggressive. We're at the University of Florida. They're already just bigger and faster than most of the guys that they're playing. Like it just we get a lot of dum dums. Like yeah,
Yep,
Florida has a lot of
that's
great
true.
talent, but a lot of these like I don't want to knock on uh these kids, but like a lot of kids that play football in the state of Florida
They get
aren't the
passed pretty
smartest
easily.
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They're not the smartest motherfucker. They don't have to be. They get coddled. Like they're just not smart. They don't care. All they know is football. So if you don't grind on them, you don't make them do it. They've never had to tell themselves, I got to. And we have
Yeah.
a young fucking football team, bro. Yeah, we're talented as shit because we're the University of Florida. The only reason we have championships is because fucking kicker kicking motherfucking Urban Meyer was our head coach and got us them motherfuckers. And we had a quarterback named Danny Werfel back in the day who could fucking throw it over anybody into any fucking spot. Like Emmitt Smith. That's what we fucking had. That's the only
Exactly.
reason we have championships. We in this new age of fucking Florida football, it's not because the players are great. Yeah, we have great players, but they're not the most fucking smart motherfuckers. They know football and that's it. And you still have to get them going. You still have to get them motivated. That's what being the University of Florida football head coach is all about. Getting them motivated. That's why Tim Tebow's the best ever in our eyes because we didn't need a fucking football coach. All we needed him to do was the X's and O's. We don't need you to motivate us. But that's what Florida's always needed. We need a fucking motivator. We need somebody to wake us up and get us ready for game time. And if Napier's going to let them motherfuckers look for Tennessee and almost get beat by South Florida, have to come out and escape, have to come out and grind, bro, like you said, that should have been a fucking looking like a Alabama versus a FCS game.
Yeah.
Like we should have been able to route them. They're in a down year, and that's USF. That's bad. And they're going home. They're going to end the season and be like, shit, we could have been state champions for 2 plays against Florida and like 2 plays against UCF. We could have beat both the teams in the state of Florida. We're fine. Let's go recruit players on that. Like they're literally going to get recruits just because of how they held
Because they
their own against
almost
the
beat
University
Florida.
of Florida.
Yep, exactly.
It's stupid.
Hey, if you want to go to the swamp and almost win, come over here. Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy, man. But the thing that I
I did.
see was that
Before on Wednesday last week, driving down 95, going to drop Cooper off in the distance on 95, I saw a weird little green outline on a tag. I said, smells like pussy. Because it was a little USF license plate. So I hauled ass up next to him, rolled down the window. And the girl was so fucking confused. And I was like, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's an I-4 thing.
So what I see with Florida, and I've been a Florida fan for 32 years. So that's why I call myself a Florida fan. I've been a UCF fan for, 10 years? No, 13 years. So I've been a Florida fan for 32 years. And what I see,
so like 15 years now, right?
Yeah, whenever. 2009 is when I showed up there. So 13 years.
Knew. But you were still 17.
Yeah, I guess. Right? No, I was 17 when I graduated high school. I graduated high school in 07. I didn't go to UCF until 09.
Oh yeah, you did go to SCRCC. I'm sorry, you know your life better than I do.
So I do. So anyways, what I've seen with Florida many times over. I saw it in the Jim McElwain eras. I saw it in the Will Muschamp eras. I even saw it in the Steve Spurrier era back in the day. When the SEC championship is off the table, they stop giving a fuck. They could not care less. And so as soon as we lost to Kentucky, those players said, fuck it. We're not going to beat Georgia. That's 2 SEC East losses. We're fucked. And they stopped caring. And that's what I'm scared is going to happen at Tennessee too, because we got away with South Florida for the sheer fact that we said, oh shit, we can't lose to these guys. We're at home. These guys are trash. We have to beat them. But when we're down 15, 20 points to Tennessee on the road, we're just going to go, it's cool. Whatever. Fuck it. We can't win anyway. And we're going to lose. And that's what I'm scared of, because that's what Florida does. You see when we lose to Georgia in previous years, we'll lose to Georgia in the largest outdoor tailgate or cocktail party, whatever they call it. We'll lose to them. And then the next week or 2 weeks later, we'll lose to Vanderbilt. And you're like, wait, how did you lose to 1-8 Vanderbilt? And it's like, oh, because the SEC championship's not on the table anymore. And that's what I'm scared is going to happen with Tennessee. And so if I'm a betting man, I'm putting money on Tennessee, but I will be there and I'll be cheering my heart out for the Gators. But I think Tennessee's going to take it.
Yeah, I do as well, unfortunately. But man, that would be really great to be able to go and shut up Hype's bitch ass who's on the fucking hype train right now.
Yeah,
Just
both of our
annoying to see.
dudes are on the fucking hype train, and they're both going to be rude awakening soon enough. So we'll just be ready for that. The next game, which is actually happening before our game, I should have started here, but whatever. Clemson is traveling to Winston-Salem to take on Wake Forest, and Wake Forest is 3-0. Now, Clemson is Clemson, but they haven't looked like Clemson, even though they're number 5. Wake Forest is 21, but they've had to work for it. They're 2-0. They're looking good. They have a receiver that is just really good. He's what's the guy's name from New England that gets a shit ton of yards and can't score a touchdown for some reason? That's
Nikhil
this
Henry?
Yeah, that's this dude from Wake Forest. He sets them up for these like vulture touchdowns over and over and over again. But Wake Forest is good and they're going to provide a challenge. So what do you think's going to happen here?
This is my upset pick this week. I've already put
Nice.
money on it. Yeah.
Okay.
And my little fucking like free pool, not money on it, but this is my.
Join that
It's
Scent
a.
Sports shit. And we'll
I know
talk
I
about it after
should,
the
but
podcast. We'll talk about it after the
it's
podcast.
9. So I've noticed that when people win good money on there, like I've won like $4 one week, $2 one week, just because my score is not that high. When people win money, it's because they're getting an 800-900 point upset, and this one's 846 points. So
I know I lose that
just
shit every time because my upsets are
if
trash.
on the FanDuel one. So
Yeah.
if this one hits, then I should be primed for some pretty good free money, and so I got to ride with it. I've been doing good. I think I'm 2-0, right? 2-0, doing
Nice.
good, and I think the train's going to keep going. But yeah, solely because the offense of Wake Forest seems like it's going to be able to keep up with Clemson, and as you
Right.
said, this Clemson team doesn't seem like Clemson normally, solely because of the offense. We get lost in the fact these games are ending with the under always hitting. Solely because they can't score and the other team damn sure can't score. So that's going to be the one thing if they're able to keep this Wake Forest offense from scoring 5-6 touchdowns. Now, on the other hand, that defense can score some touchdowns too. They can get some opportune moments going and flip the switch. And we've seen in Ooga Booga lately that he likes to cuff the ball up a little bit or throw it to the other team. So yeah, this is going to be my trap game for Clemson.
Nice.
Just starting off the ACC tour. This is going to be one that they're trying to overlook and get going, and not realize that Wake Forest has a 21 next to their name and a 3-0 record, and just think, this is those guys with that weird top hat motherfucker that looks like he smoked too many
I
cigarettes.
like that guy.
We'll be fine against them. But yeah, I really think Wake Forest at home, they have a good chance to not only win but let people know that Clemson isn't it.
I think very similarly to you, except for the very last point that you made. I think if Wake Forest was ranked 26th in the nation, meaning they did not have a number next to their name, they would beat Clemson. But I think Clemson's going to prepare a little bit harder, knowing that this is a tough game. And I think their defense is going to save them. Their defense is going to make a huge play late in the game because we've seen Clemson do this shit before when they've not had the best quarterback. Even back when they had Deshaun Watson, I think they needed a defensive save against like Georgia Tech or some shit. And they will get that defensive save every single time. And I think they're going to do that. So I think it's going to be close. And I think they're going to say, oh shit, like this team's tough, but we prepared because we knew they were a ranked team. We knew they were tough, and they're going to be ready to take that little extra step. It's not going to be DJ Uiagalelei. It's going to be the defense that's going to take care of business. But I'm going to have Clemson winning that. And then the last ranked matchup.
Real quick. Shout out to this not being on Fox or CBS. It's on ABC, which means I'll be able to watch it on the ESPN app, which literally the only other 12 o'clock slots are fuck ass Auburn versus Missouri, bullshit ass Louisville versus South Florida, and maybe a good game. Not really, because Iowa State just lost. Or no, that's Arizona State.
Yeah, Arizona State lost their coach.
Yeah. They're gonna get routed by Baylor, so those are sleeper games. At
Routed?
least I'm gonna be able to have. Yeah.
We'll address that later because they're coming up a little later for me potentially.
Baylor's defense, bro. But yeah, I think they're going to
Right.
get routed. So I really feel like this is going to be the only game that I'm going to be able to get up to and watch and not have
Yeah.
a sleeper going on. But I mean, we saw on Sunday, hey, those first halves are snooze fest, and they turned out to be pretty good
That's
games.
true. That's
So I
true.
don't know. So I'm excited that this one's on ABC. It's not on some bullshit ass CBS or Fox. So go ACC for being on the Disney
Yeah,
Channel.
go ACC. All right, so the last ranked matchup, this Texas A&M does not always play at AT&T Stadium, right? Like, why are they playing at AT&T Stadium all the fucking time? Anyways, it's number 10 Arkansas traveling to AT&T Stadium to play, which I guess is a neutral
Yeah,
site, against Texas A&M. Do they always play there? They don't, right? Because they're in Lubbock. No, that's Texas
let's
Tech that's in
find
Lubbock.
let's find out. Let's let my computer find out.
Ooh, so 10 minutes later.
So we can talk for about 5 more teams.
Yeah, exactly right. So, anyways, Arkansas and Texas A&M will be playing at Jerry World, and Texas A&M is actually favored. Like, if you were to pick the upset ranking wise, it would be Texas A&M, but they're favored this. But I think Arkansas is going to rout them. I don't even think it's going to be close. This is what you're saying with the Baylor game. I think Arkansas is going to blow this team out of the water. I picked against Arkansas a couple weeks ago, and they made me look absolutely stupid. I'm not making that mistake again. I think they're actually a good team. And I think Arkansas is going to roll this game over. I don't care if it's at AT&T Stadium or not. They're gonna dominate. What do you think? Can you talk and search?
Yeah, I think Arkansas is going to be able to roll this. A lot of the experts don't think that that's the case, but I put Texas Tech on accident, and they actually do play in Jerry World for their home games.
Well, Texas A&M plays it at like one of the most popular home stadiums of all time. That's College
They
Station,
just played,
right?
yeah, no, Kyle Field.
Yeah,
I don't
in
even look
College
that up. Damn,
Station. Yeah,
Kyle
College
Field.
Station is like the Texas A&M
Yeah, in
fucking.
College Station.
Yeah, that's
That's
they're like
yeah.
one of the best home fields of
Bro,
all
why
time.
did we should do some push-ups for actually not even knowing that right off rip. Yeah, Kyle Field, the 12th man, the fucking
They're
white
going to be
rags
less
into
home
the
field
fucking
advantage at
fourth
AT&T
quarter.
Stadium. There's going to be
Yeah,
less home field advantage.
yeah, that's just Jerry Jones getting his money for
Hmm.
sure. But but yeah, no, I think Arkansas, and the fact that the thing that really made me like in on Arkansas is they're still stuck at 10. They're not letting them crack into the top 10. And
Right.
that's got to be something the head coach is talking about, because after the rankings came out last Wednesday before their last game that left them still at 10, he was like, okay, yeah, 10, that's cool. And they asked him about his tweet. He was like, that tweet wasn't for y'all, that wasn't for me, that wasn't for the fans, that's for the recruits. Like, that's for the recruits that we're trying to talk to and let them know, hey, right now we're a top 10 team. Like, that ain't for y'all. Like, am I comfortable with it? No, I want more. He's like, that ain't got nothing to do with it. That's for the recruits. So I like that. I like his
Yeah.
mindset. Like, no, that's not no fucking feel good story. Like, I'm not. No, that's not for anybody but the recruits. That's what I'm doing that for. So he's letting me know, Kobe, job ain't finished. Hey,
Yeah.
even this year, yeah, we're 10. Recruits, son. He's worried about recruits at the same time. That's
Yeah.
fucking awesome. So that made me think that this Arkansas team might be a team to ponder on in the SEC that you normally wouldn't. Normally, you'd be looking at one of these Tennessee teams of old back in the
Yeah.
90s, Gators, to kind of sneak up there with these powerhouses that are Georgia and Alabama. But not so fast, my friend. I think Arkansas is going to be the team that might be able to knock one of them
Mm.
off and find themselves going into a playoff over one of those two teams just because they were able to beat them out of the SEC title shot.
So just real quick, just because it was jumping around in my head, if they beat Alabama and they're undefeated, go into the championship, and they lose to Georgia, would they get the same love that Alabama would as a one-loss team? They'd
Absolutely.
still make it in? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Cool. I hope
Absolutely.
so too, but I just feel like Alabama has that extra committee love that they would do a little bit extra.
If Arkansas is able to run through the SEC and lose in that, we've seen time and time again. If Alabama doesn't make the SEC championship and the team that's in there, like they would have, Georgia would have to beat the absolute fuck
Mm-hmm.
out of Arkansas for that to happen. But we've seen time and time again that third SEC team get left out. And we haven't seen Alabama be that third team since, 2008, 2009, when it was us.
Yeah.
Whenever it was the last year with the BCS computers left them out. But even then, they they could have snuck their way past us for OU. But yeah, it's crazy that the SEC has that much power. But we've just always seen time and time again that team who loses in the SEC championship more than not will find their way beating that team who got beat by the team that lost in the SEC championship.
That's true. All right, so we're already way over time, and I do want to talk about my basketball because it's amazing. So let's make our upset picks. You already made yours, but just reiterate it for the little pick segment. What's your upset pick?
I got I forgot. I didn't forget, but I wish. Get Florida over Tennessee. Yeah, Wake Forest over Clemson.
Wake Forest over Clemson. All right. So I was actually going to round it back out. I was going to do Iowa State over Baylor, and I changed it because Iowa State is favored by the computers. So funnily enough, I changed it, but then you tell me it's going to be a blowout, so I'm happy I changed it, I guess. My upset pick is actually Washington State over number 15 Oregon. Honestly, I think they should be computer favorites also, but they're not. They're 6.5-point dogs, so I'm going to take a little step out on the limb. I think Wazoo is about to put Oregon down and end the Pac-12 for Oregon. So that's our upset picks. Eddie didn't text me, but he did text me about UTSA last week, and it went close for a little bit.
For a minute.
So that was pretty fun.
Did you see how I texted in the group chat? I was like, Eddie, you almost got it, bro.
Yeah. It wasn't the closest upset pick we've had this week, or this year. But so far, Seal is 2-0. We missed last week. I'm 1-1, and we're really excited about it. But that's the end of
everything.
That's the end of the podcast. So let's actually, because we are literally like an hour and 15 minutes. So let's do our ending here. Let's shout out somebody. But I want to talk to you just about my trip and about basketball, and we'll do it on air because fuck it, why not? But let's do a little closeout here. So who deserves to get shouted out?
Are you
tonight?
Serious right now? You're tennis guy, bro.
The tennis guy. I know. So he's not my tennis guy. Fuck this guy. But he's retiring, and I'm happy. And he chose to be with my tennis guy. So Roger Federer officially retired, and then he kind of walked it back a little bit and said, you know what? I'll play one more game. I want to play one more game. I want to play a doubles match, but I want Rafa Nadal to be my partner. And that, I can't stand Roger Federer. I'm happy that he's below Djokovic and Nadal all time, so I don't really care. But that would be super cool. I really hope Nadal joins in. And before I give my ending, I know you said before the podcast you had a question about it. So what was your question, if you still remember it, about this Federer Nadal doubles match?
Yeah, if it was up to you, who would be your favorite doubles matchup? If it's Nadal Federer, who do you want to see? Obviously they want to give him one final lap, so the Joker's not going to be there, and he's probably not going to be allowed to be there because he didn't get the shots in his shoulder. But who do you want to see that can actually show up? We would love
Andy
to
Murray.
See Andy Roddick.
No, Andy Murray, the British guy.
Okay.
Because he's still playing at a relatively high level. And who would he play with, though? Andy Murray in London, which they're not. I don't know that they're playing. Where they're playing for the Rod Laver or whatever the U.S. Open Lamar Hunt, whatever it's called, Cup is. But Andy Murray would have to be one of them.
What about that light-skinned fellow?
There's a lot of those.
He's the 20th ranked dude. He made a run in the U.S. Open.
Kyrgios?
Yeah.
He wouldn't be able to play with anybody, though. Nobody would want to play with him. No, I'm thinking, who would Andy Murray want to play with that's still able to play with these guys, but not dominate them in such a way that it would be... I don't know, but Andy Murray needs to be on the other side. That's all. I only have one. I let you down a little bit, but I only have one. But if Andy Murray played... But it would have to be Americans, because the thing they're playing in is Europe versus America or whatever, I think. So I don't really know how that works, but if I got to see Nadal and Federer together, I'd be excited. So congrats to Roger Federer. You retired third, like we always knew you were. But on the real, I mean, such an amazing player. He was the most sophisticated of all of them. He kept his emotions in check, which neither Djokovic nor Nadal can echo. Every time Federer, if you just watched Federer on mute, you did not know whether he was winning or losing or what the score would have been. And that's really admirable because that's
Oh,
not the way I play sports. Yeah, what's up,
and
Sue?
before you end it, I will say I can appreciate him for allowing me to be able to watch tennis with you growing up and see you get so annoyed, like so angrily annoyed at this man. I loved it. Thank you for those moments, Fed. I appreciate you. Even down to your headband with your logo on it would get this guy set off.
It's
So
not the way I
thank you
fucking
so
play.
much.
He's such a
Thank you so
chill.
much.
He's so just. So somebody we do love, Andrew Tungate, was the same
Hey.
way. And in flag football and in intramural soccer, I would get pissed at Andrew, and I loved Andrew. They're just so chill. You can never read their emotion, and that was part of what made Federer so good. Is he did not care if he was down, he did not care if he was ahead. He was going to play the exact same way, methodically, technical, putting it forward, and he's going to be a hero that tennis remembers for a long time. And I hope he gets that one more match with Nadal. But for the one time in this podcast history, we will say be like
Hey.
Roger Federer. And as always, be a stud, not a scrub. But we will keep rolling. I'm time stamping this bad boy. It's going to be around 1:15. And we're going to talk a little bit about our personal lives because that's what we do on this podcast.
Yes,
Normally
sir.
we talk about it at the beginning, but I knew this was going to be a long podcast, so I wanted to save it a little bit. Um, so I just went to Minnesota for a sports trip. It was really fun. Minneapolis was amazing. The weather was mid 70s, low to mid 70s, sunny, breezy, beautiful. Cover girl, the whole shajam. That's not even a word. But it was beautiful. I got to go. We went and watched LAFC play Minnesota United, and we drew 1-1. But the stadium was really nice. Not my favorite stadium. Um, my favorite road stadium so far has still been Colorado, the Rapids. But Minnesota was still a good stadium. They didn't have any special food there in that stadium, so we just had to get like chicken tenders or some shit, just regular stadium food, which was kind of
That
sad because I,
sucks.
I always try to get something local. The baseball
See,
stadium was straight; they had stuff, but
real
the
quick,
soccer stadium hadn't got around to it. What's up?
have you guys do you plan on your trips like years before, or do you just kind of like months out start being like, all right, it's that time of year,
We
let's go get
plan when the
soccer?
schedule. We plan when the schedule comes out.
All
Uh,
right.
so when the schedule comes out, we look at all the road games and we decide where we're gonna go.
So if there's ever a road game in Philly, and you go see a Phillies game,
Yeah.
we 9 times out of 10, that's the one. I'm be able to convince this one too. But we kind of saw when we were
Right.
driving around, ducked off underneath the overpass.
Uh-huh.
And its own little like you can think like downtown Jacksonville with all the bridges and shit.
Right.
Like they would just kind of throw it down on the little close down the port on that patch of grass, the little field. That's what it looks like. But
Nice.
yeah. But I when you talk about fields, I was thinking like, yeah, this probably would probably be one of the ones that you don't like. But you got to think with Philadelphia, they'd at least have some cheesesteaks. But thinking of Minnesota, what maybe some barbecue, like
No,
get
so
some ribs
the
in the stadium.
the food that Minnesota, Minneapolis specifically is known for is called the Juicy Lucy, and it is a hamburger that is like boiling cheese inserted into, so it's like a ball, like a meatball hamburger basically, that's just
So,
fucking hot as balls cheese, so as soon as you bite it you burn your fucking mouth. Um but I had a couple of them. So a little insight on our, when we go to every road game, we search, first of all we go for an LAFC road game, so it has to be one of those. Then we check to see if any
Absolutely.
other sports are playing. So baseball is usually what's happening, sometimes football, sometimes basketball if you go really early in the season. And then
Yeah.
we search food, and that is it. We search food. We found the
Oh,
Juicy
yeah.
Lucy as the delicacy. So we started searching where we could go get Juicy Lucy's. So we went to a dive bar to get like a dive bar one, which was messy and greasy and just gross, in a good way, like the good gross. And you had to have like a stack of napkins. It was really tasty, but it was just American cheese. It was a burger. It was fries. You were drinking your regular beer, and then we went to
So
this like,
there's no like Minneapolis like brew house beer like Pittsburgh has IC Light.
yeah,
Fucking
they have their
Denver
own
has
stuff.
Coors.
They had really good beers. None of the
Nice.
breweries were any that I recognized, like just like that you'd see on a
Okay.
shelf. But we only order local beers when we go. That's another thing we always do. If we go to a bar, we look and just make sure we buy stuff that's from the state that it's there. And they had a lot of they had a lot of sours. There were a lot of sours in Minnesota, and they were fucking good. Um, Jake had this one that was raspberry brownie caramel sour. Dude, it fucking tasted just like a brownie. It was so good. I had one that was
See, shit like
rhubarb,
that.
strawberry rhubarb and shit. Oh, dude, it was so fucking good.
See, like shit like that.
So good.
Like those pineapple smoothie seltzers that they are starting to introduce and shit like that. Like all these drinks.
I lost you. I heard all these drinks and then you disappeared. Oh, now you're back.
It's
Wait,
connected to the
yeah.
phone. What the hell is going on? But I'm not trying to do all that stuff. I'm trying
But
to
that
sit
was
here
part
and,
of it. But they
and drink on
also
actual beer.
no,
I don't
but
know how you
if
guys
you
can sit there and do all that stuff.
well, you drink it once. It's
And
once every like
These
5 beers.
foodies.
You get a sour once every like 5 beers or so. But they also had like a cream ale that was really good. They had a lot of good stuff, beer wise. But yeah, so I had that dive bar burger. It was great. It was tasty, but it was dive bar-y. And then we went to like a gourmet, like not gourmet, but a restaurant, a real restaurant. And I got one that was filled with beer cheese. And like it was like they stacked it all nice and neat. They made sure to wipe off all the grease off the side of it. And they
So
gave me
how does
these
it
like
come cooked? Do you tell them the temperature you want, or is it just the
no,
Juicy Lucy
it's the
way?
Juicy Lucy, and they
Is
make
it
it.
is it medium well done? Is it
It's
pink?
more like medium well. There's
Okay.
like not there's no red, but there's like that light pinkish, um, mostly towards the gray.
Yeah, because I feel
But
yeah, the way they would do that is definitely on. They would probably do it on a flat top instead of a grill, just to make sure
yeah,
that bitch
but
gets seared.
it's really good. The one with the beer cheese was dope, but it was because
I'm
the cheese
sure.
tasted so good. So, it was a really fun time with that. And then we went to the baseball game and the Twins game, and they were playing the Royals, and they have a putt, like a 5-hole putt golf course.
I
It's
like
not real
TWINS.
putt. It's just like shitty little. Oh, it probably is spelled that way because it was some
It
funky
yeah, in
ass.
the picture, yeah,
Oh, you could tell in the picture. We
yeah,
couldn't. We didn't. We couldn't tell from being
dumbass.
right there. But I beat Jake by one
Stupid.
stroke. I got a hole in one on the eye.
Hey,
Obviously on the eye, right? But I got a hole in one on the eye. He took two, so fuck him. So that was awesome. And then the game was fun, but I am now on a 2-game streak of no home runs in my last 2 baseball games that I've attended, which really sucks. Um,
do y'all sit
just
now? Oh no, y'all seats were amazing.
Yeah, they were good. As an aside, so I went to an Angels game, like a couple weeks ago now, and no home runs were hit. And then Otani hit, or not Otani, Trout hit in 7 straight, hit a home run in 7 straight games after that. So this is bullshit. But anyways, so yeah, I'm on a 2-game no home run streak, which is kind of lame. But the game was really fun. The Twins won. They shut them out. They shut out the Royals, which was cool. And then the next day we were tired, so we were tired, so we walked around the entire city. We walked around the entire city, and then we went to another bar and just watched the Thursday night football. But it was really fun. It was a good time. We got to see a lot of good people. Nobody had that weird Minnesota accent. that the
Yeah,
TV
sorta.
has. Yeah, nobody had that, which was kind of sad. But the Target was 2 stories. That was kind of fun. Like I'm some old man talking about how cool the Target was, but the Target was pretty cool.
Like
Um,
it was 2 stories, like 2 different levels of shopping.
yeah, but it was like in a business center, so it really felt like you were going up like office buildings. It was like tiny, and like
Yeah.
it was kind of cool though. But yeah, it was a fun trip. I would suggest or encourage people to go to Minnesota. So far, it's been fun. All of the trips I've gone on have been fun. San Jose is obviously the worst because it's San Jose, but they've all been really fun and I enjoy them all. So Minnesota's great. Um,
Yeah, from waking up to your text, it seemed like you had a blast.
well, that's just the normal. The bars there kind of suck though. Like
Oh, really? You
if you're
seem like
not
you're
an
having a good
adult,
time.
well, I mean, I will find a way to drink. Like we had to go to gay bars. Like no offense to gay people, I'm just not gay. So like when you have to find a gay bar to have fun, like that's a problem. Like there should be more sports bars. There should be more. The gay bar was fucking dope though. It was karaoke night. It was a really good time. But like people that aren't gay shouldn't have to find the gay bar to have fun. So that was kind of lame, but it was a fun time, and the bar
Falls asleep
itself
after
was
10.
awesome. What's that?
The city falls asleep after
Yeah,
10.
so there were like after 10, there were like 2 bars open. You could go to the place we went to, Johnny's, not the gay bar, but Johnny's something or other, and they had 2 pool tables, both of which weren't playable after 10. So the bar was open till 2, but they shut down the pool tables. I'm like,
Are you serious?
what? Yeah, I was like, what are we here for then? What the hell's going on? And but then
That's stupid.
so the gay bar that we were at though was dope. So you could take a elevator, or you could take stairs if you were like athletic, but we're not. So you could take the elevator, and the first floor is like a regular bar, restaurant, whatever. The second floor was an escape room, and the third floor was a rooftop lounge.
You could do the escape room, or that's something during the day.
It had closed by the time we were there. But yeah, the third floor is a rooftop lounge, and so it had its own bar, but you could like oversee the city, and it was super cool. So we stayed up on the rooftop lounge for a little while, and then we wanted to go watch karaoke, and that was down on the main floor, so we went down there. But yeah, so it was fun, but yeah, lack of bars for late night, which is kind of lame, but.
That is lame. But I mean, it's
I
weekday,
don't
so
think
who knows?
Minneapolis is like a live-in city. It seemed well put together. Like I think that's people are there from 9 to 5 and then they go they go
Yeah.
home.
Get outside.
They're not expected to be there. There were no homeless people walking around. I mean, maybe a couple, but like when you're where we grew up and when you're in LA, like you're used to seeing people at all hours of the night walking around, bumming
Yeah.
money, carrying their trash bags. That shit wasn't in Minneapolis. There was none of that at all. So they closed early. but in other news, we had our basketball season start back up. Seal only has 1
Hey, yo.
season, but we have 3.
I know,
And
that's crazy.
and I
Might
told you
have to come out
guys,
there for the off seasons.
yeah, you should. Nobody's listening at this point. We're an hour and a half in, but if you are, you guys
Joe,
know.
Thank you.
Yeah, Joe, if you're still listening, you guys know that my league or my team. What's up?
Joe, if you're still listening, when you send me the weekly text that I can't wait for enough, but I never send you one first, I'm a horrible person. Let me know. Watch your latest episode. And yes, I listened all the way to the end.
All the way
Because if
through.
you just tell me you texted listening to the latest episode,
Then you'll know.
I'ma know. I'ma know.
So if you do listen, Joe, you'll know that my team had a bit of a rough season last season. We went winless. It was a struggle, but I continually, encouragingly said we're setting up for the future. We all believed it. We all knew that we were setting up for the future. Well, 2 punk asses left. One of them ghosted our ass, and the other one waited like a week and a half before he said, "Oh, I'm not in. Sorry, guys." But then one guy ghosted us. So we had to find 2 new people. But anyways, we've played 3 games now. I had to miss 2 of them because of the Minnesota trip. But we're now 2-1. We have 2 wins,
What?
baby. Last night we just won 52-21. I was there for that. If seriously, Seal, like, so this was a new team and they were bad, like really bad. I mean, if you score 21 points, and you're
Real
probably
quick.
pretty bad. But
So you're still on the same Tuesday night, and I've become aware of the fact that this league will relegate and delegate or whatever the fuck it is. Like they'll push people into different nights into different leagues. So
Yeah.
you are still on Tuesday night, I see. How many of these teams are still there? And is this one of the new ones?
So last night was one of the new ones. I recognized when the standings came out 4 or 5 teams. So it's us. I'm just thinking in my own head. Midnight Rain was there.
The Samurai, was they there?
Samurai is a new team. Skid Marks was there. Slam Ducks was there. So it's probably like 5 guys. And then the rest, all the brick teams were new. The Samurai were new. Fakers was still there. So it's pretty much half and half. There's like 12 teams. It's like half and half. We have only played new teams so far, but these new teams, you can tell they're new, which is probably what we looked like last year, right? When we were getting fucking blown out by 30 points. This team had one really fucking good guy. He scored 16 out of their 21 points. He was really good, but sadly for him, the rest of their team was like, I don't know that they've ever played basketball before, like honestly.
Really?
And they must have just been a group of guys who were just having a good time. So we just double teamed that dude after we figured out he was the only good guy. There was a guy, not even kidding you. I'm going to say this as politically correct as possible, but I don't think he was. Let's just say he was like Chris Melton, because then Seal will understand and nobody else would. But I felt like
he shouldn't have been on the court.
I could steal the ball from him every single time he touched it. Derek. Yeah, Derek. More probably like Derek. He would catch the ball. He would look up. He'd listen. His teammates would go over here. He'd turn and look at him and go, okay, over there, and then throw it. So like I could steal it every single time. So I stole it like 3 times in a row, and I was like, I should probably be nicer to this kid. Like if it were a close game, I would have ripped him. I would have had like 13, 14 steals. But eventually I was like, you know what? He's having fun. Let me let him have. It was like Derek. I was like, let me let him have fun. So it was that level of people. He was the worst, but like between them and me, but it was fun, man. It was good to get a win. I did rip it from the good guy once, so I felt good about that. I swatted the fuck out of this kid, dude. Not the good guy, a bad guy. He like went up, and he like went up 2-handed. He was gonna shoot like Hannah from Grace. And I just stuck my hand right in the middle of the ball, and he like pushed it, and I just like went with it and then just took it off his hands. Dude, it was so nice. I bet it looks so good from the sidelines, because I just went boom, and I just like took it with me and started running with it. And I was like, that's my first ever block in real life, like when stats are counted. Like that was my first ever. I was so happy. But it was cool because the scheduling gods, whoever they may be, set us up with these bad teams right off the bat, which is going to help us build confidence, which is huge. Because not next week, we have a bye next week, but then the week after that, we faced the team from last year that beat us on the buzzer beater team from last year.
Oh, okay.
So it's cool that we were able to build some confidence. We can see, hey, we know how to win. We can do this. And now we're going to get to play a team that we know we can play with. And now we're going to have some confidence thinking, hey, we can win these games. And it's going to be exciting to see what happens against a team that we know is going to be pretty good. So
have y'all been communicating at all? I've been talking.
Like on the court or outside the game?
Outside the game.
A little bit. We have like the core guys, the guys that didn't ditch. So we have like 5 dudes, and we talk a lot. The 2 new guys just kind of give like that little Apple thumbs up when you like a text and shit like that.
Yeah.
But the other 5 of us are talking.
So
pretty
you can
good,
see it on
so.
your phone. You can see the thumbs up come through.
It says like Brandon Steele liked this message.
In a
It like
text.
sends it as a text. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dumb.
you need to get an iPhone, bro.
It's dumb. It'll say like Brandon Steele liked, and then it'll put in quotations like "Let's win tonight," quotation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rough.
But yeah,
I'm gonna
I can
start
like
liking all
stuff
your
now. Though.
shit.
I don't
Oh, you
care.
can? Look at that.
I can
update
like
that y'all
stuff
finally
now.
got
It's
5 years later.
it's starting to
Look
figure
at
it out.
that. You're starting to
Hey,
merge.
your stuff comes in like the Facebook the blue thing though, doesn't it?
Yeah, does yours?
No,
mine's
mine
green.
you're
Mine's green.
mine you're able to put your race like everybody wants to do. You're able to put you're able to put the
whatever it wants to be.
little color hand. We have a bye next week. See, I was telling the truth. So
What's BC mean?
that's
C?
Basketball Carlos. That's his name in my game.
I thought you were showing my shit.
No, you're BS.
My shit's on 10%.
You're BS, not BC.
I thought it was my power mode.
But yeah, so it's really exciting to get some wins. It always feels good. So I'm excited that in 2 weeks we get to play a team that we know is good and that we have some confidence. This team looks good, dude. The 2 people we added are straight. One guy is my friend, and he is straight out of college. He sucks at basketball, but he can run for. He could probably run 2.5 hours straight without asking for a water break. And
so is that you got him doing that try hard defense, get the rebounds shit?
We play a 2-3 zone still because that's what they want to play for about 5 minutes. We figure out who the good person is, and we switch to a box and 1, and we put Tyler on those dude so the tall guy, the good guy that they had, we said box and 1, Tyler, you're on him. He shut them down, and we took care of the rest. And then we told him on every shot, take off. Bro got like 10 layups, just easy ass layup. It's so nice to have a guy that can run like that. And then the other guy is like 6'4" and built like a truck, bro. Like he should be a linebacker. And so he just gets rebounds and just throws it to Tyler. The other 5 of us are just like, yeah, we good, bro. You two just take care of business. But no, those 2 people are gonna work out perfectly for what we needed, because we have all the other roles filled in really well. We needed a rebounder, and we need that hustle boy, and now we have both. So it's gonna be really exciting.
Nice, good shit. Yeah,
dude dribbles like this though. The fast kid. He literally like sticks his palm like this, and he's like pushing the ball. Hey, if you're all alone,
so make sure run to the basket so the dribbles are less.
Yeah. He dribbles like Jason Cannon.
Oh, great. Hey, as long as he can fucking run, jump, dunk like that.
That's what he does. That's what he does.
Bro, Jason looked like a fucking cricket on the court with his fucking braces, but that motherfucker would dunk on anybody.
Yep.
Spring.
Yeah, and that's Tyler, bro. It's nice.
That's dope. We just got a notification our banquet's coming up in a couple weeks. All the awards and shit. I'm not getting nothing. No rookie of the year over here.
Damn, you guys do awards late.
Yeah. Well, everybody needs to decompress from it's a long season, the playoffs. I feel like just like there's a lot of animosity. Like, yeah, at the end of the day, like people are still friends, but like the Blazers hate me. Like that's real life. If you can invite your friends and family, so 3-4 weeks ago, if that number 2 you suck kid would have just showed up with the Blazers, it could have been something. So I feel like they wait a little bit just to let everybody decompress from the season, get back into the normal life, and just have an event like it's going to be just something to do.
Yeah, so that's dope. Cool. We don't get award. I mean, we get like a player of the week, but we don't get award, and it's like on Instagram. But the way that you guys do a full series in the playoffs is dope. And like the way you do a draft and the awards, like it feels so much nicer. But my league seems more just like the fun pickup, laid back kind of style, which both are good. Both are good. And
And my league's definitely good for me. I love it. That's why I if there's any chance that I don't have to spend a shit ton of money on being a sponsor, I'd love to sponsor the league with the podcast. It's a great league. Mike and his brother, his sister's always there. There's definitely probably hidden faces,
Right.
maybe his parents, whoever it is, that goes into getting this league going and creating. Like we're going to be at a restaurant, one that I worked for. Shocker that. But we're gonna have our own area, like doing our own little banquet kind of thing.
Nice.
And it's really cool. I mean, yeah, we're gonna have to pay for our own shit, but it's cool that they're able to come together and create a space for us to have an after season thing. Because, like you said, like once y'all season and y'all in the playoffs, are like, all right, cool. I put my little Goodwill jersey that I bought off Amazon for $5 away
I
until
think mine
next
was
season.
like $13 though.
It's like we're going for the
Reversible.
same colors. Like we're not going to go to green, right? We're sticking with red and white this season. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Like but yeah, nah, weird. I have a stitched fucking jersey that I'll have forever, that I'll be able to show the kids
Yeah.
one day and be like, yeah, and tell them stories about all these seasons in this league, and the pictures that they put up. They have a photographer. Like these pictures are real
Right.
nice. Recording, I can do clips of me shooting threes, getting my and ones, and shit like that. Like it's a really, really cool league,
Yeah.
and and to be able to put my footprint. I wanted to do it with Rookie of the Year and get a championship, but to be able to put a footprint on it with a podcast, that'd be even more special. So yeah, it's an awesome league. I like that it's not like that where you have as many bye weeks as you do games.
Yeah.
It kind of caters to us a lot more than it does to them trying to figure out scheduling and fuck that. This
Right.
is what it is. This is what's going to be. That's what the NBA is. That's what a league is. So it's more catered to the people who are willing to do it and the people that want to play basketball. And I feel like that's why you talk about how intense we are. That's the people. It's meant for the people that want to play. Like,
I wish
hey,
we
the game's
had your league to like have as a league, and then in the off season we could play my league where you're just kind of running, having a good time,
hell yeah.
staying in conditioning. And if you could work both of those out, dude, that'd be dope.
Yeah, but they tell us a month before the league starts, hey, we're going to be playing games on Saturdays this year. And the people that can make it on Saturdays, hey, those are the ones that are going to be playing the basketball, and those are the ones that give it all. And at the end of the day, we saw with the Warriors, they were the one team in the playoffs that had all 8 guys. Even though Burns was injured, he showed up. He was the GM. He was the coach. He showed up. He was there for support, and he was out with injury. They had 7 guys able to play. We had 7 guys maybe max all season. 2 games we had to play with 5 people. 2.5 games we had to play with 5 people. So like they're yeah. So it really comes down to in our league, the people that want to play basketball and are hungry for basketball and love the game of basketball are going to end up winning the championship at the end of the day. And that's pretty much what the NBA is, along with talent,
Yeah.
which we have to have talent. Like we were going to get it with Scott, but him not showing up a game kind of fucked us in getting a loss, and fucked us in having to play an extra game and all kinds of shit with seeding and whatnots. And yeah, so yeah, that's what I love about our league. It's not just a rec league; it's more than a rec league, for
Yeah,
sure.
because like we're full on rec, like what you would think of when you see the internet. Like if you showed up 1 week to stay for like a week and it was in season, I could be like, hey, Tuesday, do you want to ball with us? And you'd just get written in as a fucking another player and we'd go play. It's full on rec, but I love it. I also love your league, but I love my league 100%, and I wish I could do both because they're very different, and they're both awesome.
Where the fuck did it go? Yeah, I'm excited for your league to start. You're gonna have another whole season before I even play again.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
the fact that you guys are on the right start, to where you thought it might end up being not even next season, like a whole year playing before y'all finally got on the path that y'all are on now. You've already quadrupled infinity your win total from last year.
Exactly.
So
We
you are
have
definitely on
doubled
the right
our
path.
2-season win. They won 1 the season before I showed up, 0
That's
my
dope.
season. So we've doubled a full year's worth of stuff. But yeah, we're gonna get out of here. It has been like 2 hours. So what did you say his name was? Joe? Is that what it is? Yeah. So if you're still listening, we appreciate you. And be like Joe, because we hope he's listening. So for the second time, be like Joe, be like our leagues, and as always, be a stud, not a scrub.